So as you all know, the House recently voted to fully restore net neutrality in a 232 to 190 vote. And this is phenomenal news, even if we're pretty certain that it's not going to make it through the Senate. Nonetheless, this still demonstrates that at least on this one issue, Democrats are getting it right, because they face planted on so many issues, but on this one issue, they seem united, and they seem as if they are aware of the fact that net neutrality is still incredibly important to the American people. And I mean, it's a no-brainer. I'm actually a little bit, well, I guess I'm not surprised, but I'm taken aback by the fact that Republicans are choosing to really die on this hill, it seems, because when your own party overwhelmingly supports something like net neutrality, doesn't it seem counterintuitive to basically go against the will of your own party? So, I mean, they're doing it anyway, because this is what Republicans do. They never necessarily think about what their constituents want. Rather, they're thinking about what their corporate donors want. And of course, we all know that Comcast, AT&T, Verizon, they all want this bill to die. And like good little puppets, Republicans are assisting them in that mission. Now, what's interesting is that last year, net neutrality passed in the Senate, but it did not pass in the House. It ended up dying in the House, and it passed in the Senate by getting support from even some Republicans, such as Lisa Murkowski. There are two others, and I'm now blanking on their name, but now it's the case that it passed in the House, and it's going to die in the Senate most likely. And the reason why we know that is because the human turtle himself, Mitch McConnell, is saying it's dead on arrival. So as Jordan Carney of The Hill reports, Majority Leader Mitch McConnell said Tuesday that the Senate won't take up a net neutrality bill currently before lawmakers in the House. Dead on arrival in the Senate, McConnell told reporters about the fate of the House bill. The bill would reinstate regulations put in place by the Federal Communications Commission requiring internet service providers to treat all web traffic equally. So I'm not sure if I've ever said this on the show before, but I endorse Mitch McConnell's 2020 opponent. Don't know who it's going to be. Don't care who it's going to be. Almost anyone in the country would be better than Mitch McConnell. Anyone. Any corporate Democrat, even a moderate Republican, I'll take a literal tickle me Elmo. Put that fucker in his chair. It'll be better than Mitch McConnell, because all he does is act as a roadblock. He's essentially the Snorlax of American politics. He blocks whatever Americans want to see happen. That's all he does. And it's beyond infuriating, because for something like net neutrality, which 90% almost of American support, the fact that you would so willfully and smugly dismiss it, saying it's dead on arrival and you're not presumably even going to allow for a vote on it, it's infuriating. So I don't understand how the Republican Party's own base isn't speaking out about this more forcefully, but nonetheless, it's absolutely despicable, and I can't stand Mitch McConnell. So the problem is that there's even some Republicans who support net neutrality, who would vote for this in the Senate, but presumably he's not even going to allow for that. But I mean, this is par for the course for Mitch McConnell. This is what he does. He just blocks pretty much everything, and he does the bidding of his corporate overlords. It's disgusting. So that's where we are. It passed in the House expectedly and will most likely die in the Senate. Let's just think about, in the event it actually did pass the Senate, what would happen if it got to Trump's desk? Would he sign it? Almost certainly he would veto it. There's a chance that maybe he would be oblivious and sign it into law, but I mean, I wouldn't hold my breath, but the important thing is that it gets a vote regardless, but it doesn't seem like Mitch is even going to allow for that. So I'm sure he's going to be getting a lot of campaign contributions from Comcast and Verizon and AT&T, because he's doing exactly what they want him to do.
Subscribe if you like this video, folks. Mike's tremendous, and he's doing a really, really good job. Many people are telling me about how wonderful the Humanist Report is. Bigly.